My name is Malia Berger, and this is my Module 1 on STEM education in the classroom and how students learn science. I'm currently a second-year teacher at Clearview Elementary School in Redline Area School District, and I teach 5th grade writing and science. I am a new teacher, so I'm interested in integrating STEM for multiple reasons. One, I want my information and my lessons within my classroom to be relatable to students. And I believe that students are more engaged and learn more when it comes to more hands-on learning within the classroom. My school district really hasn't started talking about STEM as much, but I know that it's coming since it's a hot topic of conversation, so I'm just trying to get ahead of what might be to come. My hobbies include bowling, miniature golfing, traveling, spending time with family and friends, and playing strategy board games. So based upon our readings, it is talking more about not just necessarily how students learn science in the past, but also how they should be learning it in the future. So all students are learning science based upon their prior knowledge and experience within their everyday life. So it's our responsibility for us to be able to teach them in the future about how they can find a deeper understanding with their facts, their ideas, and how they're able to organize that knowledge and how they're able to apply it into their everyday life. So in the past, we were more focused on having the students memorize the content that they learn, whether it was from a textbook or whether it was from what scientists had found to be facts. It didn't really matter. It was more of them just memorizing it and they weren't applying it. So instead, STEM is more focused on having them take control of their own learning. They're making their own learning goals, they're monitoring their progress along the way, and they're able to see how that will help them apply it in the future. And also in the past, we focused more on the students following the scientific method and following those directions. They really weren't using their own imagination and they weren't finding the difference between what they were observing and what they found to be was a theory based upon what scientists had found. So there are barriers to science learning, and one of the major ones that we have is misconceptions, where students have already come up with their own understanding of why things work and how things are. And when they learn new information and they see that it isn't that way, for some reason, students are still going back to their previous misconception, even learning that information, and even going from there, they're not applying it to their everyday life. So basically, what we have as a barrier is that they can't move past what they would call facts and see how it should be used in different circumstances within the future. So how does my classroom adhere to the tenets of science learning described in the module readings? So I do try to address misconceptions as much as possible. Um, I also try to conduct STEM experiments within my classroom. I've already done a STEM experiment with gravitational pull of the sun and the planets, and currently I'm having my students create telescopes. And I do actually have my students assess their learning along the way, not just necessarily in STEM as well in science, but also in writing to see how they're progressing and seeing how they're able to create their own goals and how they're able to work towards them. So my STEM perspective would be more combining 2 or 3 disciplines. So whether it's combining science and technology, with my telescopes that I have right now, that is more doing science and engineering because the students are creating their own actual telescope. But in other lessons before, I've integrated more science and technology, or I've integrated more science, technology, and mathematics. So I'm a more of a person who is able to see how STEM is integrated in multiple disciplines and how they're not separate from one another, any of the STEM elements that we are including. And my favorite candy bar is a Nutrageous. Thanks for watching.